Love it or hate it, there's no denying that drifting has grown in popularity since it arrived on American soil 12 years ago. There's also no denying that as it grew in popularity, it became a source of controversy among motorsport purists due to its subjective nature. How could drifting be a motorsport if it's judged? Purists are used to motorsports having objective goals like crossing the finish line first or having the fastest time, things that could be measured precisely with instruments like clocks and transponders. So does the lack of objectivity disqualify drifting from the motorsport label? Or is there more to motorsports than just objectivity? An argument can really be made either way. I've been curious about this for a while, but an article I saw on Speed Hunters, I'll leave a link in the description, rekindled my interest. So while I was at Formula Drift Irwindale, I decided to see where some of the Formula Drift drivers and even one of the co-founders fell on this particular subject.
All right. People always throw around the term motorsports here and there, whether it's drag racing, circuit racing, time attack, drifting, but motorsports is just, like a broad term. There's different genres of motorsports. Drag racing from one of them, Formula One, open wheel racing, sports car racing, and I truly believe drifting does fit in the category of its own genre in motorsports.
I think drifting is a motorsport, and I'm often asked that because I do race professionally, so I do other things other than drift. And there's a lot of people that are kind of conflicted with it. But my whole thing is, you don't have to be racing or getting timed or have a checker flag for it to be motorsport. The fact that we're judged, I personally think doesn't mean anything as far as it not being a motorsport. You look at the cars and the teams and what we do preparation-wise with the team that we have here at Tyler McQuarrie Racing, there's nothing different from how we prep the cars, how we maintain them, how we build them, all that stuff compared to a racing car. Yes, we're judged, but that's the only thing that I think has kind of that argument that it's not motorsport, but we're going out there and competing against other drivers. That's motorsport. There's a winner and a loser. It's motorsport. I think when people say it's not a motorsport is kind of crazy and kind of naive if they think it's not. To me, that's like saying baseball isn't a sport. There's umps and there's subjective calls in baseball. So does that make that not a sport? And I disagree with that. It's absolutely a sport. So I think I have a pretty good opinion given that my background's racing. I go against checker flags all the time, and that's obviously been known as a motorsport forever. This is something new, but hands down, definitely a motorsport.
It is a hard one. See, I think the beauty of drifting is that it can be a motorsport or it can be an action sport. It all is how you want to take the sport and what you want to do with it. Are you out here trying to make a living, be a professional and running a big operation like this? Or are you just going out on the weekends and having fun with your friends and throwing down and just drifting whatever you got? That's what makes drifting fun. That's why I enjoy it. On the weekends when I'm out at Club Loose, it's an action sport. It's just me throwing down with my buddies. Here at Formula Drift, it's a motorsport. We're making a living. We have a professional team and a lot of assets behind me, and that's what makes us a top contender for the championship. And at that point, it is all about the competition. But it doesn't mean to say that it's only about the competition.
Is drifting a motorsport? That's a pretty complicated question. I feel it is, right? It's purpose-built race cars that are as capable, if not more capable than some of the top touring cars in the world, and it's done on a racetrack. Really the only difference is that it's judged, but I think for that, I think it's still a motorsport.
I would say that drifting is a motorsport, and it's called Formula Drift for a reason. It's normal to see cars with like 1,000+ horsepower. The amount of tires and grip that we're using, it's insane. We're doing 2 laps, 2 tires, putting power to the ground and clouds of smoke.
Formula Drift, drifting in general, definitely a motorsport. There's some of the sickest cars probably in any series. We got power that is capable of some of the sickest drag racers in the country, and we come out here, shred tires, judge sport or not. I don't think it matters. But the one thing is, you're going to come out here, you're going to have fun, and drifting drive-wise is got to be the most fun thing in any motorsport. So absolutely, 100% full motorsport, and it's badass. So try and come and enjoy it with us.
I think drifting is a motorsport, and it's because we're using a car and we're competing. It's motorsports. But I know it's one of kind. It's not like go-kart all the way to Formula One, that type of typical motorsports category. It's kind of one outside of it, and I would say it's more like extreme sport. In a way, it's more entertainment. But still, we're competing. So yeah, I would say it's motorsport.
Well, it looks like all the drivers we spoke to think that drifting is in fact a motorsport. What do I think? It's probably not an answer that many of you will like, but I think that drifting can be both, with the deciding factor being context. In the confines of Formula Drift, with teams competing for a championship through the means of competition, then drifting is definitely a motorsport, as some of the drivers in this video have already mentioned. However, if a group of drift fans get together on a track day to slide their cars around, then drifting becomes something else entirely and loses its sport element. I'll use traditional sports as an example. If the definition of a sport is a game with an objective, then football or basketball are never not sports. Even a game of 21 in the driveway or a round of tag football in the backyard still have an objective goal, and that's to win. The only difference is that the stakes aren't as big as they would be in the NBA or the NFL. If a bunch of friends get their missile cars together for a day of drifting at the track, all objectivity and subjectivity goes away. No one wins at these events, and the only goal is to have fun. Anyhow, what I think, or even what the Formula Drift drivers think, isn't what's most important here. What's important is what you think. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think drifting is a motorsport? Yes or no, and why? We're looking forward to reading what you guys all have to say. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, help us out with a thumbs up by clicking the like button. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to our channel.